Hi, welcome to today's mini lesson on competency visibility. We're keeping it short to maximize your time while still having a mighty impact on learning. Our lesson on competency visibility is driven by the question, what's your objective for competency visibility? Is it for communication of standards to students and/or families? Is it for your own planning purposes or tracking of coverage? Or is it for assessment purposes, such as ongoing assessment, or for making informed reporting decisions? Before I jump into my SpacesEDU demo account, I want to make a connection behind the why and the how. The why is the objective for providing competency visibility, and the how is to hone our skills with using SpacesEDU. Today's how is how to add a tag set to your SpacesEDU account, how to apply tag sets to a post, how to add a proficiency score, and how to pin tags. A heads up is that this mini lesson is just scratching the surface on assessment in SpacesEDU. There's more features that are connected, but this is a first step. Plus, we're keeping it mini. Welcome to my demo class. I'm in my teacher's account. There's a few ways to add a tag set, but I like to do this by accessing the Assessment tab. From here, click on Manage Tag Sets. I'm pretty active in SpacesEDU, so I already have quite a few tag sets already added to my account. Once a tag set is added to your account, it doesn't need to be added again for a different class or year to year. It's always accessible. That said, let's add a new set. My preference is to search by state, province. By doing so, I'm able to access up-to-date curriculum standards and competencies. Let's go to Social Studies and Grade 5 and add this tag set. Awesome! It's now in my tag sets. Depending on your objective for competency visibility, I recommend editing your visibility settings. Currently, my curriculum tags are visible to families and students, and my students and families can see my proficiency scores that I've applied. Some teachers prefer to start the year with proficiency visibility turned off, and this is for a few reasons. One, they may want to put less focus on the grade. Or, perhaps they're still communicating assessment practices with students and families, and building family and student knowledge of competency-based assessment. Only teachers can add curriculum tags to posts and add proficiency scores to tags. Tags can be added and evaluated on the spot, or they can be simply added and evaluated later. Thinking about our objective for competency visibility, students and families can hover over the tag to better understand what they're learning, why they're learning it, and how they've demonstrated their learning. Understanding the overall learning goal can also help students formulate next steps. Additionally, I'm in a family account right now. Families have access to your proficiency scale and accompanying description for each level. Competency and standards-based learning is a learning process for families, so this is one additional tool to help them in their learning journey. If your objective for competency visibility is for ongoing assessment or reporting purposes, stay tuned for an upcoming video on how curriculum tags and proficiencies can be further utilized with additional features. That said, you can filter by tags directly in your Space feeds or your overall feed. Finally, I want to touch on planning. Additional tools in SpacesEDU provide additional utility for planning and tracking, but I'm a big fan of the pinning feature. To help with backwards planning, as well as for efficiency and visibility, I recommend pinning the tags that you are currently covering in your class. By doing so, these tags are always at the top of your list, so it reduces your search when applying tags. Once that unit's done, you can unpin your tags and pin new ones. The old tags haven't disappeared, they're still available via the set or the search. Some final thoughts for today's mini lesson on competency visibility is to consider who you're communicating to. Who's your audience? Student grade level is definitely a factor as the language used is pulled from curriculum documents. That said, pairing tags up with post-creation SpacesEDU that demonstrates specific competencies definitely fosters metacognition. As previously mentioned, families are learning this too. So pairing visual evidence with tags goes a long way in communicating learning. Finally, as a teacher, you know the world of education is a whirlwind. Tagging evidence of learning is one step for supporting informed assessment practices. Thank you for your time today. Do not hesitate to reach out to our friendly support team at hello@spacesedu.com or check out our website for great content and resources.